Hi healers, it's Amira coming to you live and addressing a question that I get all the time: how to deal with spiritual attacks. Now, spiritual attacks, they can come from like different ghosts, energies, entities, um, extraterrestrials, other beings, whatever it is that's bothering you. Um, there's a few different ways that you can deal with it. And there's some quick and easy ways that you can deal with it on your own, which I'm going to share with you today. If it's a more serious issue, you might have to take more serious measures and get a professional involved. And I'm going to be sharing with you some more recommendations at the end of how I can help. Okay, so how do I know about dealing with this? A lot of my experience dealing with spiritual attacks and clearing spiritual energy came from living in a very haunted apartment in Las Vegas. It was in North Las Vegas, which is the hood of Las Vegas. My apartment building, it was very strange because when I went there to look at it, at the beginning, it looked nice, it looked fine. But when I moved in, it was like a totally different place. Like all of a sudden, it was like totally like crime riddled. There was like um, shell casings on the ground in the parking lot, and it was just like totally cracked out. So it was obviously something spiritual at work where I seen one thing and then seen something completely different when I went back there. And it was a learning experience. I feel like that, a lot of my life experiences and living in different places, moving to different places have been learning experiences and life experiences. And there are certain places that have a high level of spiritual activity, alien activity, and other life forms and other energies. So, I don't know what had happened in that apartment, but I, I just it never felt good. And so every day I would handle it a few different ways. The first thing I would do is every day I will wake up and, oh yeah, and one more thing is that a lot of the techniques I'm sharing with you now, I've learned them from all different places. Different teachers have shared them with me. These are just little snippets, but I go more in depth in my classes and in my teachings, and I also share with you who my teachers are. So, the first thing that I would do is I would burn frankincense and myrrh upon waking every day. And one of the important things is that when you wake up, if you're getting spiritual attacks, when you wake up, you want to stay up and pray if you can. And then if you go back to sleep, just make sure you pay attention to your dreams so that you can gain information about what's going on within your dreams. And then when you do wake up, light some incense. If you have frankincense and myrrh, resin, burn it. Whatever you burn to cleanse the air, burn it. And that's going to help. And then you just want to cleanse the area that you've been sleeping in because, you kick up a lot of energy when you're sleeping. If it's like, there's a few ingredients that you can use that will clear stuff up right away. One of them is like burning angelica root. So it's all burnt because I've been burning it. But one of the things you can do is just burn, like you can get angelica root at like a place that you can buy herbs. I usually shop for herbs at stores that are like Arabic grocery stores or Asian grocery stores. And that's where I get my herbs from, typically locally, but they're imported. And it's angelica root in English, or it's dong quai in Chinese. And this really like clears up a lot of stuff right away. So, you can choose what you want to light. This is some mugwort. I don't have any with me, but there's also Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Okay. Also, camphor and rue are very clearing too for spiritual energies. So those are my go-tos: angelica root, mugwort, camphor, um, and rue. Another thing you can do is place cups of water, preferably glass, if they're glass jars or whatever you have, but you can place them in corners, different areas to catch the energy. So as you're cleansing with the smoke, you know, people do it different ways. You can either oh oops, I'll be back. When you're dealing with spiritual attacks, you want to make the energy around you as high vibrational as possible. Piano music is one of the most high vibrational sounds. If you put some on, immediately that lightens the energy. Any music that you like that really makes you feel good, put that on and that will help. Even, you know, one of my favorite songs that I used to cleanse my space to when I lived in that haunted Vegas apartment was Dej Loaf and Big Sean, Back Up Off Me. I would be like, oh, yeah, back up off me. And, you know, I would bang pots and pans. Anything to break up the energy, shake things up. And then really inhabiting and embodying yourself. Because one of the most effective, quickest, easiest ways that we don't think of to clear energy and, you know, rebuke a spiritual attack is just to embody ourselves and to just, you know, from our core, like from our very middle insides, so just like be ourselves bursting out from in there. And, you know, it's like when there's parts of us that we're not using and utilizing because we've repressed them, best to believe other entities and energies will be glad to use those parts of us for whatever their agenda is. So that's why we do healing mind control. We call our energy back from any institutions or organizations that have sought to siphon or use our energy against us or against others. And we just, you know, we fight it that way. Like, the best, the quickest, easiest, best. Well, I'm not going to say easiest because it can be very challenging, but the most strongest and best way to handle spiritual attacks is just to continuously go within and find whatever parts of us in some type of way resonate with that. And it is a very actually erotic experience because it is going within the sensation play of it. So that is, you know, the essence of why hoes are healers and why sex workers are so well suited to do spiritual work is because, like, we are already masters of the erotic and of intimacy and of that, like, that core energy. And so anything that blocks us from being able to access that and use it, or also anything that seeks to siphon that energy away from us for gains of others, that is what we're essentially fighting against when we're doing spiritual battle and when we're in this spiritual warfare thing. So the more, you know, sensation we can feel and sensitivity we can have and go within ourselves and really feel, you know, satiated and secure is the best way to handle spiritual attack. And for me, you know, that's within this whole channeling practice of Isis Reiki, Heaven on Earth Reiki, healing the world from sexual abuse and sexual trauma is what we're doing. And that starts with ourselves. And that's why it's so scary. And sometimes I literally don't even want to do it. I literally don't even want to do it. It's scary, it's hard. But the rewards are so satisfying. You know, and that's why we do it together, so that we have support, because we need support. We deserve support. It takes a village. You know, it's not something that we should be expected to do on our own. We shouldn't expect ourselves to do that. Sometimes we hold ourselves to these really extreme, unfair expectations because that's what other people have put on us. But we never asked for their opinion. So, bye-bye now. It's not relevant. And it's time for us to reclaim our sovereignty and our autonomy and, just know that, like, whatever, when we're getting spiritually attacked, whatever is happening is a teaching moment and a tool for us to use to get stronger and gain more power, and also practice channeling and managing the personal power that we contain. And not only the personal power that we contain, but like the power that we're able to channel through our very beings. Because, it takes time and practice to work with that amount of energy and do it safely, And, I mean, in exorcisms, people get hurt, And I think that's what, I think a lot of people are expecting that they're just going to be doing spiritual practice and they're just going to be safe. And there's, like, provisions that you have to put in place for that. And even when those provisions are in place, things can still happen. People doing exorcisms, like, sometimes when that spirit leaves the body, it will break somebody's pinky or hand or leg on the way out, or at least break a window, So just being conscious of that is okay, though. I mean, we are spiritual beings having a human experience in these human bodies, and so that, like, liminal space where there's a cracking between the spiritual and the material worlds, that's the moment of chaos. It's so juicy and fertile, and where so much magic happens. So those are just a few techniques you can try to raise the vibe in your space. And I forgot. Okay. Oh, another thing that works really great, singing, dancing, any self-expression, because, again, you are embodying yourself and you are taking ownership of your personal space, not just your space around you, but, like, emanating from your core, your body, your actual self. And so anytime, even just doing a little self-care of, like, moisturizing, and just, like, doing your hair and makeup, like, is just so much self-ownership. So, like, it's like, I feel like I'm working backwards right now, but then it's like, all right, this is how I work with that energy, and just a few techniques that I've tried. If you want to explore more and connect with a whole community of people exploring the same interests, join Heaven on Earth app and our Heaven on Earth Healers course for a immersive, supportive movement of healers uniting in as spiritual warriors, supporting and centering sex workers and survivors. Doesn't that just sound amazing? Join us. The website is heavenonearthreiki.org. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and say mashallah when you see me. This has been the official Peace Princess, Amira Yasmin, signing off. Peace healers, ma salama.